Back in the early 90s, I was married. I was in my early 20s, and my first husband and I were very passionate and entrepreneurial, and we loved our animals, and we came up with the idea for Camp Bow Wow based on what our own animals were lacking. And so we had put together the plan, and about 6 months later, we were actually looking for a facility that we could open our first Camp Bow Wow. My family gave my husband a gift to go up for his 25th birthday in an old biplane, and the plane crashed, and my dad's best friend and my husband were killed instantly.
Hi, I'm Heidi Knoll, the CEO and founder of Camp Bow Wow.
Got a pretty big settlement from the plane crash and managed to screw that up pretty well and blow it on loans to family and friends and buying things that I shouldn't have. 5 years later, my brother came to me and said, "You seem so lost. You've started these other two companies. They weren't what you were passionate about. Let's dig up the old Camp Bow Wow business plan and see if we can't get it started." And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a single mom at this time and working pharmaceutical sales, trying to make ends meet, and I had about $80,000 left from the $1 million settlement. And I thought, well, might as well risk it all and put it into starting my dream. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. My brother and I started the first Camp Bow Wow in 2000. And, it was a crazy road, a lot of twists and turns. I had a best friend embezzle money from me that I had to let go from the company. I had another best friend I had to fire for other reasons. It's kind of like a video game. You never know what's going to come at you. Beginning to franchise wasn't something that I originally had in the plan, but it was the perfect fit for me because it allowed me to be the visionary and not handle the day-to-day operations. And I love the vision part, the day-to-day operations not so much. Well, culture is a tricky thing. Culture can mean the logos that you wear on your shirts. It can mean the branded materials that are at your camps. It can mean your presence on the internet. It can mean your relationships with the people that buy into the franchise. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's what the outside world perceives of you and your company and your brand. I am seen as a pretty laid-back CEO and leader of the company until somebody messes with the brand or messes with the safety of the animals or the vision for the company. And then I'm very committed, very focused, and very driven. One of the challenges for franchise companies is to get everybody, when you have a couple hundred people that are bought into the brand, on the same page and committed to one vision and one way of getting there. And in order to do that, you have to have a very strong culture and a very creative and innovative culture, and one that doesn't allow for people to color outside of the lines, but yet taps into their creativity and their innovation. So it's a very tenuous thing. Every day is a balance between doing the right thing for the company and being a great friend and person to work with.
My life has changed so dramatically. It's amazing. I mean, the difference between doing this and doing corporate work is huge, and I much prefer this. Hi, I'm Sue Ryan. I own the Boulder Camp Bow Wow. Yeah, it's culture is an interesting question in a franchise because you have different layers of it. So I've got the layer of culture that I'm trying to establish here with myself and my staff to make it be a fun place for people to show up and work, to make it be a safe place for people to work, and some place where people work well as a team. And then we've got the culture among the different franchisees and what that feels like. And then we've got the culture of the franchisees and the corporate offices together. So there's all these different layers, and I think they're each individual and unique. And in a perfect situation, they all complement each other.
Whether they're coming as a prospective franchisee, whether they're working at Camp Bow Wow, one of the camps, or at Camp Bow Wow Corporate, everybody knows the gist of how we got here. It really does, I think, give them a different way to look at our company and a different perspective on things. And I think it's definitely been a big part in developing our culture and really making us very scrappy, and we can get through anything, and having that, we can conquer all.
As business owners, we all experience not the tragedy that she did, but a lot of the tough stuff that she did.
When we do face a challenge, we look back and say, Heidi, how'd you deal with that when you were dealing with what you dealt with? Or this franchisee, how did you deal with that in the very beginning when you were starting one of the very first camps? And keeping kind of the folklore of Camp Bow Wow alive and well through the internet and through our day-to-day conversations with people. And when we bring prospective franchisees in, they hear the story and they hear specifically how we overcame the different challenges. And I think it gives them a lot more respect for where we are today.